So now we are good to go and good to start the session. So, the framework or the agenda of this particular session is introducing a very important topic before everyone. Today is CA Day, Chartered Accountants Day. So wish you all a very happy CA Day. And CA is known for the most important thing, depth, commitment, professionalism. Now we are going to add one more aspect to the personality of professionals. And of course, many of you may be chartered accountants or may not be. It is nothing about CA as a degree. It is about professionalism. So we are going to add one more aspect to your professional personality today. And this is going to be possibly a potential attitude-changing topic, life-changing topic. So without making you guess, let me introduce the topic for today. That is nothing but growth mindset. One area which every professional can adopt and reach to the next level of their careers. So what is growth mindset? Before there, some of you may or may not aware, who am I? So very briefly, I am Meghnan Dungarwal. I am a chartered accountant, CPA, CISA, DISA, qualified in 2005 chartered accountancy examinations. Started my career in bank audits, internal audits, and then moved on to international tax and transfer pricing. That became my key profession. After spending almost 13 years in transfer pricing, my turning point in my life came in 2017. I decided to act like a coach, and I studied coaching as a profession. Since 2018, I'm acting like a coach. I'm studying the art of coaching day by day, year after year. And we introduced the firm called Shoonyas. So many of you would have interacted with me, with Shoonyas in some or the other fashion. But if I may want to reintroduce for some of you who may not be aware, you can see on the screen, Shoonyas. What is this all about? This is about making deep impact. This is about making life transforming impact. This is about living a 360-degree life. A life where you are a thorough professional as well as a happy human being. A life where you are reaching to new heights in your career and at the same time making deep impact at your home and your society. So this is all Shunya is all about. We coach professionals, we coach leaders, we coach managers, we coach businesses. And all that we do, we say we are actually working in a deep work lab. A lab where we experiment. We never shy away from experimenting things. We learn. We continuously evolve. Day after day, year after year. Great. So with that background, now let me come to the critical topic of today. That is growth mindset. So in a minute, I invite few of you to share what comes to your mind when you hear the term growth mindset. One or two. Can any of you share what comes to your mind when you hear the term growth mindset?
From my angle, if I hear the word growth mindset, first what comes to my mind is an attitude.
Wow.
And second, what comes to my mind is what can I do to myself? And third, how I can proceed and progress with the organization which I run. So it's a mix and match of self and organization. And what first, which struck me when you said the word growth mindset, is attitude. Actually, I meant the word positive attitude.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else would like to share what comes to your mind first thing when you hear the term growth mindset? Anyone? No problem. No, this is not RCA exam.
So, Meghnant,
Yes, sir.
in addition to whatever Mr. Yanki Banerjee said,
Yes.
growth mindset required hard work and dedication. So, from there it will start. So, as I completely agree with you that it's all about the mindset, because where we want to reach.
Thank you. Thank you, Shankar. Thank you so much. Hard work and efforts. Yes. Anyone else would like to try?
Yeah, I would say growth mindset, that you thrive on challenges and do not see yourself as a failure, but describe yourself as a growth and developing your abilities.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Priti. Thank you for adding one more angle to it. All of you, of course, are correct. There is another angle to it. And now a deep work has been done on this particular concept. This has been coined by Carol Dweck, a psychology professor at Stanford University. She has done phenomenal work here. And after she coined this term, it really became a buzzword in various businesses across the globe. Now, to name a few, Google has conducted one study called Project Oxygen, wherein they have studied almost 7,000 plus of their managers across the globe, the high-performing managers. The purpose of the project was to identify those attributes which sets them apart. And to everyone's surprise, growth mindset came first in the list, which means this is one characteristic which really sets apart the high-performing professionals versus other professionals. Now, this is what we want to learn today very briefly. What is growth mindset all about? Then came Microsoft, wherein Mr. Satya Nadella, when he became CEO and he addressed the entire company by his CEO letter, he introduced again this term called growth mindset in Microsoft. He said every one of at Microsoft should now act like a growth-minded person, a growth mindset person. Now, are we ready to listen and understand what it means to be a growth mindset? Great. It is very simple, nothing complicated, but very important. It's an attitude of infinite. It's an infinite mindset. Now, what does it mean? It means, to put it very simply, know it all versus learn it all. This one sentence describes growth mindset. Know it all versus learn it all. It simply means I don't know everything, but I can learn everything. At any point in my life, in my career, I will not say I know everything. I can definitely say I will learn everything. So it's a mindset of continuous learning. It is the mindset of continuously experimenting. It is the mindset of continuously taking actions. It is the mindset of continuous evolvers. To put it in another way, growth mindset is nothing but our existing knowledge and talent are only the starting point. At any stage of our life, we simply say, whatever knowledge and experience I have is just the starting point for today, which means there is immense scope to learn more and to implement more, to experiment more. That's the mindset. I hope everyone with me here. Can all of you at least give me thumbs up?
Yes, correct. You're right.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Now we'll see some practical examples because, in life, generally it is said, everything happens twice in our lives. First in our mind and second in reality. So what happens in my mind is so critical. And that's why we are going to see how the growth-minded people think. So let's go through this interesting journey. Fixed mindset versus growth mindset. So when I say growth mindset, the opposite of it is fixed mindset. And now we will see how they think differently. Hope everyone with me here. Very interesting. The fixed mindset person says there is a ceiling on how much we can achieve. To this, the growth-minded person will say, our true potential is unknown and unknowable. Why should I think also what is my real potential? I can try, I can learn, I can experiment. Let's move next, and I will insist all of you to think how a growth-minded person will respond to it. So the fixed-minded person says, not succeeding right away signals failure. This is fixed mindset. The growth-minded person will say, setbacks are ideal opportunities for growth. Now, the fixed-minded person will say, if I have to try, I must not be good enough. To that, the growth-minded person will say, effort is what makes me smarter and better. So I believe in my efforts. The fixed-minded person says, I am either good at it or I am not. Either or. The growth-minded person will say, I can learn anything, anytime that helps me grow. So the focus here is on learning. I hope you are understanding the difference. The fixed-minded person says, change is difficult. Now this is very, very interesting. Change is difficult. The growth-minded person will say, change brings opportunities. The fixed-minded person will say, I feel closely attached to what and how. Now this is quite deeper. The focus here is on what and how. I am sure you would have identified the difference. The growth-minded person will say, I am passionate about why, but flexible about what and how. My focus is on the why, the purpose, the cause, the reason. The methods I am flexible about. Now this is the last one, but the real test of the mindset. Fixed mindset says, if you succeed, I feel threatened. Which means if my competitors succeed, I feel threatened. Exactly opposite, the growth-minded mindset will say, if you succeed, I'm inspired. So if you can do it, I can learn from you. The basic difference. I hope everyone with me here. So the focus of growth mindset is always on continuous learning. Learning never stops. The focus on becoming better day by day, day by day. The focus here is on taking efforts for improvement day by day, day by day. So it is about continuous learning. It is about continuous evolution. This is what growth mindset all about. None of us are either fixed mindset or growth mindset all the time. None of us. It's just that sometimes our fixed mindset triggers and sometimes our growth mindset triggers. Now, after this session, what we expect is whenever these kind of situations arise, we will be conscious that, oh, this thought is from my fixed mindset. Let me tweak it. Let me trigger my growth mindset. And that's where we will see the difference. That's where these high impact companies have been built by growth mindset. That's where some of us are really doing extraordinary contributions day by day. So I invite you to the journey of growth mindset. Everyone with me? Can I ask and take your permission to move ahead?
Yes, please.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Everyone, I again request everyone to please keep your videos on. You will enjoy this session more with your videos on. Can I request everyone? Okay, good. Now that we have growth mindset established, we have some of the live examples of growth mindset with us today. We learn from them. We look up to them. There are torch bearers. There are living lights. And they are with us today. Let me invite and welcome Sri Robin Banerjee sir and Sri Madhukar Hiregange sir. Formally, I would like to introduce both of them so that every one of us knows what an example of continuous evolvers and growth mindset all about. So I would invite my colleague Ashish to please introduce our esteemed examples today.
Thank you so much, sir. So, firstly, I would like to introduce Mr. Madhukar Hiregange, sir. So, a founding partner of Hiregange Associations from the year 1988 and a firm having offices all across India specializing in indirect taxes. A purpose-driven professional and his goals in life that includes making indirect tax laws simple and transparent, creating at least 1,000 committed professional leaders, and contributing to the education of about 5,000 plus economically challenged schools across India. That's what our dear Sir Madhukar Hiregange has his goals as. He is also a Central Council member, a past Central Council member of ICAI, as well as a renowned author for the topics such as GST and indirect taxes. We welcome you to our event, respected Madhukar Hiregange sir. Next, I would like to introduce Robin Banerjee sir. So, a CA, CS, CMA, MCOM by education, a professional having work experience of more than 40 years serving various large MNCs all over more than 20 countries. He is currently the MD of Caprihance India Limited, and his earlier instincts included Hindustan Unilever as a general manager, Thomas Cook as executive director, Sluzon Energy as a group CFO and a member of Global Boards. An acclaimed CFO awarded by Business Today magazines and along with various others as well. He has authored 3 business bestsellers, also a gym enthusiast and a badminton lover. That's our Mr. Robin, respected Robin Banerjee sir. We welcome you to the event. Now, you might all know about Meghnan sir, but I would like to reintroduce him to you as well. So, Meghnan Dungarwal is a professional CA, CPA, CISA, and a certified executive coach. He played leadership roles at consulting firms. Also, a founder and CEO of Shoonyas, a business and personal growth solutions company. A professional speaker on reputed platforms internationally, including ICAI, BCCI, IE Singapore, etc. An author of a personal effectiveness book, Why Am I So Scattered? And an educator of online learning courses from clutter to clarity. We welcome you all to this session of Learning from Bibliophiles and our formal community introduction. Over to you, Meghnan sir.
Thank you so much, Ashish. Thank you. We are really honored to have Madhukar sir, Robin sir with us. I hope everyone now really are 100% there in the event, right? Let's hear this Bibliophiles. Now, many of you have really wondered, no, what is this term all about, Bibliophiles? I hope many of you will also search the dictionary, isn't it? Yes or no? Great. So let's see what Bibliophiles is all about with this panel discussion itself. And you will understand the term with some real life interactions with these esteemed guests with us today. So let me start. And this session is nothing but dialogues, interaction, and learning their life through our lens. Everyone ready? Can you put thumbs up to say that we are ready? Okay, thank you so much. So, Madhukar sir and Robin sir, first question from our side, because we are talking about growth mindset and we have decided the term growth mindset to say that it is about continuous learning and continuous evolution. Sir, how this attribute has played a role in your life? If you would like to please share with us your life journey and experience. So maybe I'll invite Robin sir to start with.
Okay, hi Meghnan. Good afternoon all of you. I love this concept of growth mindset. At the end, it's all in our mind. Everything is in our mind. We become happy because our mind says we are happy. We become sad, our mind said we are sad. The society, the people around us does not change. We need to change to adapt to what the surroundings are. And that change is primarily in the mind and the mindset than anything else. Taking from that, your question is that on continuous learning, what is it that one has done? My belief for all of us, each one of you who are on this webinar, we must identify one thing. What is so special about ourselves? Why should Ashish be preferred over Darshan and Darshan be preferred over Gaurav and Gaurav be preferred over Amit? Why should anyone be like that? Just because Ashish feels I'm greater or Darshan feels I'm greater? So we all have to identify something called our USP, unique selling proposition. What is so special about us? Some of us are good speakers, some of us are good singers, some of us are good artists. Of course, you have to have your USP through your own little skill which you have. Having said all that, each one of us are marketing ourselves all the time. Whenever you meet someone, we are always marketing. The other person is making a judgment about ourselves. How is Yogesh? How is Rohit? How is Kushal? How does the judgment come out? One, the judgment comes out from the way we look, way we are perceived, our haircut, our beard, our dress, our smell, our aroma, and more importantly, what do we speak, our communication. And what do we speak? We speak what we know. And what do we know? We know as much as we have learned. How much have we learned? As long as we are continuously learning, we speak better. I am for the corporate world. Many of you are practicing professionals. In the corporate world, we will always have to distinguish ourselves from the crowd. And that distinction is USP. And that distinction is what is it that we are speaking. And if we are continuously learning, our speaking is always better. Let's take, for example, I stay in a city called Mumbai, and we have got a new chief minister yesterday night. And this chief minister, I didn't know, he was an auto rickshaw driver. So in our country, not only can a tea seller, a tea vendor, chai wala become the prime minister, an auto driver can also become the chief minister. Now, let us assume for a moment we have a quick discussion about this Mr. Chief Minister, and I'm not too sure that all of us are equipped to have a discussion. If you do have a discussion equipment, that means you are continuously learning. I know I have given a big yarn because I believe that unless you continuously learn, you will not be able to project your USP, you will not be able to communicate your worthwhileness, and you will also not be able to distinguish yourself in the crowd. Having said that, my journey of continuous learning took place when I was a child. If you remember nowadays, those days, food products used to come in a packet of a newspaper. The old newspapers used to be then sold, and they will crumble it or make a packet and serve something, bhel puri, pav bhaji, whatever. I remember that whenever I would have had my food, I will then read the newspaper, the portion of the paper on which the bhel puri was served. So the learning or the reading started from there. My submission to all of you, rather than telling my story, today I believe people have stopped reading, and that's the biggest problem. Because of WhatsApp, the mobile, the nonsensical videos which comes on WhatsApp has enabled us to stop reading. My submission to all of you is, please, for heaven's sake, read. Forget about what I do. I would like to take a poll here. How many of you have read today's newspaper? I'm amazed to see and know that most of us have stopped reading daily newspaper. Please, for heaven's sake, stand up, please. Madhukar Sab says he does. Please, thank you. There is only one hand raising, which is very unfortunate. Two then. Anil, thank you. So, Nitin says down. Thank you. Which means we are all awake, which is very nice. We are all awake. Patil Sab says he does. So, we need to read newspaper. This is where learning starts, reading starts. Ladies and gentlemen, you are as good as what you know. And one of the biggest source of knowledge is newspaper, not the television. Please understand, television is negative news. Television is always doing breaking news. Television is trying to sell their TRPs. So that's not where the knowledge comes from. Please read newspaper. That's what I still do every day. And that's what I all started. That's the way, to my mind, you can distinguish yourself in the crowd. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. You gave us one mantra of learning today. Your own example, you used to read newspaper even from the unexpected source at that point in time. Thank you. So this is passion for learning. Thank you, sir. Now, Madhukar, sir, what is your...
Only one point.
Yes.
We really need to say big thanks to Mr. Banerjee, because I completely agree with you,
Sure.
Mr. Banerjee, because not only this message to the group, even we should pass on this message to our kids as well, because somewhere they also need to develop this reading.
Correct.
So childhood
Thank
is
you.
the best, I think, phase to develop this sort of a interest. So from your own experience, I think you conveyed your message well, and thank you so much for that.
Thank you, Shankar. Thank you. There are many more insights we are going to gather today, Shankar. So we'll reserve our thanks towards the latter part. Madhukar, sir, how your journey of continuous learning shaped your personality as a professional? If you'd like to share with us your journey.
Actually, I was not at all a good student. I failed a couple of times in my school. When I came to Bangalore, I was pushed down. That means I had to repeat a class. Then I came to CA because I wanted to be independent. That's the only reason I came to CA. My father was a very high-ranked government officer, but I could see how politicians were, making him suffer. He was honest also. So I decided I'll never work for anybody. Then I thought, I was told CA is a noble profession and all that, and I joined. Then I found it was very difficult. My memory was very bad. I couldn't remember sections, and that's what they used to ask. So that was the time when I failed in CA, and I knew I had no choice but to finish CA. When I got that understanding, that was the time when I started the journey of continuous reading. Got through my CA with a bit of difficulty. Then I came onto the open world and I wanted to make a name for myself, like my father had. Though he was a government servant, he had a wonderful respect of many of the famed people, including Sam Petroda. He was number 2 to Sam Petroda in those days. But he was really harassed. He used to be IOCT. He used to get transferred quite regularly because he was also honest. So the brunt of it was also borne by us children. Anyway, when I came to practice, I was shocked to see that it was not so easy to practice. Then came one more need for me. I had to differentiate, like Robinson said. Otherwise, I thought it will take 20 years to be known. So then I looked at what chartered accountants are not doing. In those days, indirect tax was not known. Central excise was something which even I didn't know what tax it was. But I heard it in one of my internal audit clients. And then I asked him and he laughed at me. You're a chartered accountant, you're asking me what this tax is. So I took up central excise. And it was a huge amount of reading. 8 months or quite a lot of reading, very difficult. And that book, that was a very procedural oriented law. 500 pages was the entire procedures and the law. Not like today's laws, which are all, maybe 100, 150 pages. So I chose where there was nobody. And I chose it because I realized that I don't have the memory to make the clients, say, wow. And I'm also, basically, I have always been a lazy person. I don't work beyond 5:30, maybe 80% of my professional life I have not worked beyond 5:30.
Sir, your voice is breaking in between for some reason.
Okay, just give me a moment.
There is some problem with your network, sir. Yeah.
Is it better now?
Yes.
Yeah, it's better.
I think it is, I just used the microphone. Sorry. Was there something you missed or where is?
We were listening to your story about
Last few
500 pages,
sentences.
the procedures.
Okay, yeah. Yes. So this was a necessity for me. What I have understood while studying the central excise law, there were hardly any chartered accountants in central excise in those days. Even in Bombay, only a couple were there. They also doing partly. They used to do FEMA and other things also. So I started reading this, and one point which became clear to me, of course, it was a learning from my articles, that people are more interested in practical solutions. I did some work for Bosch. Earlier it used to be called Myco. And I learned a lot. It was a German subsidiary. As an article, I learned a bit from the type of impactful, type by which you make an impact. You know, in ICI, we are hardly taught what Meghanand is attempting here. We only go for knowledge. Our attitude is not there. There's nothing to differentiate us. So I started with no bribe. So now in 32 years, in 13 locations, 350 people, there is no case of bribe in the last 3 decades. So it was a culture. It was a thought process. But learning is something we have focused in our office also. I agree with Robinji that, of course, I am a little slow in learning. Let me also tell you that. From 1988 till 2002, I was a normal, mediocre practitioner. I had written one book along with V. Raghuraman. Many of you may know, he's a very brilliant lawyer, chartered accountant turned lawyer. After that, in 2002, actually, I adopted the growth mindset. I used to read before that. I used to read mainly novels, Alistair MacLean, every known author at that time. I was a voracious reader at that time. Then I shifted to the knowledge, which is useful for me, which is focused for me. And there is where from 2002 till now, we have had some amazing growth. One of the other things which is very important in continuous learning is, today, the biggest strength which all of us professionals have is that we have got through CA or another difficult exam. When we learned the subjects, we didn't like all the subjects, but we mastered them. So if I can master a subject which I don't like, what about the subject which is the future of my practice, like GST? That is what became the charge for me. One of the ways in which, as I said earlier, my memory was very poor. And if my memory is poor, what can I do? Can I tell the client, I don't know the case law, I don't know, I don't remember? Very difficult. So I put a structure around it. I started writing articles. And when you write an article, you think about it, then you write it, then you read it, you edit it, 4 or 5 revisions over. Then I started writing books. That time it was even 10 times I had to edit it. So over a period of time, I became recognized as an expert in central excise. Even famed consultants couldn't match me. Maybe it was also because I focused a lot on procedures, which many people don't focus on. They used to focus on only Supreme Court decisions. But what I understood, if I have to be a good consultant, is that I cannot merely have knowledge. I should be able to do something which is useful and beyond what others were doing. At that time in central excise, retired departmental officers were there. They were not updating themselves. I not only updated myself, I updated everybody in the country. I was the highest answerer of indirect tax questions on PDICI for almost 10 years, 5 years, I think, and on CA Club India and all that. I used to go and answer after reading. So I started making a name as an expert.
Very nice.
One of the things, yeah.
I'll take one question here, sir, in
Certainly.
between. Sir, you shared your journey about how you moved on from a slow learner to an author. Very interesting journey, sir, because many of us also feel that we can't learn, we can't read. And you moved one step ahead to to become an author, and not only for one book. You have authored several books in row.
35.
35 books. So this is such an interesting fact. Similarly, Robin sir has written almost many books, and some of them are absolutely bestsellers. Bestsellers in books, business books in non-fiction category.
Very difficult.
And around the topic of financial frauds and scams. Very deep topics, very complicated topics. Sir, so both of you are an example of learners turned into authors, turned into knowledge sharers further. So this journey, sir, if you would like to elaborate a bit, how this journey made it possible for you from a learner yourself to an author?
For me, it was very clear. I had no choice because my practice was not good. I was not doing those, practical things to take care of the department officers. So I had to depend on clients coming to me. For example, registration in Central Excise was in those days, a bribe of 20,000 rupees was mandatory, but I cannot pay. But my clients would come to me and I would take 1 month time. After 1 month, many of the times I couldn't get through. So the flow of clients became less. At that time, I had a guru called K.S. Ravishankar. He was also a chartered accountant, and he also turned to be an advocate later. And he told me one thing, Madhukar, you have dug a well where there is water, but you have to keep digging the well so that water is there throughout the year, number one. Number two, your water should be the sweetest. So the deeper the well you dig, you will find people coming to you from every side.
Nice
So
learning, sir.
today, we have in most locations work coming through the door. Just the name is enough. But this has happened like this. All my partners are much smarter than me. Much, much smarter. But this reading business is continuing throughout. For example, today after this session, I am having a session for Tax Sutra. The preparation for that has been going on from the time the GST Council minutes came out. It's still continuing even now. I've also done some study on that. And after this, we are going to talk about that.
So nice. The continuous reading is one habit, Madhukar sir, which has helped you to actually turn that knowledge, that understanding in your books.
100%. I've had
So
some
nice.
good
Thank you so much.
inspirations. There was one chartered accountant called K.K. Chaitanya, he's still there. He's practicing in direct taxes. He was much younger to me, maybe about 7-10 years younger to me. I had the facility, or you could say the fortune of working with him. And you won't believe, I was his partner. But in the morning, he also used to come early like me. I used to come at 8:30, he used to come at 9. But between 9 and 10, nobody could disturb him.
Superb. So
He
that's
used to
sir,
read it.
your technique of deep reading, deep learning.
See, what I had done is that I will read again and again. And a lot of times I used to put, as I said, I'm not very bright. I am very effective, but I have never been called a bright person. I cannot answer instantaneous questions and all that. Unless I'm prepared, I don't speak. Even today's session, I'm totally prepared. There, what I used to do is I used to put a structure around continuous learning. So I started a group called Akshara Group 30 years back. 30 years back, we started this group, and today we have about 140 members. I am no longer part of that group, but that group is still going on and on. Every Tuesday they meet. I've also got a group called Artha, because I realized that chartered accountants don't have the type of thinking which advocates have. So a group learning. So every Friday for 2 hours we used to meet. After pandemic, of course, we meet online every week.
We take one learning here, sir, from you right now. That is, learning happens much more effective in groups.
100%.
Because we push each other. We enlighten each other. So that is very good learning. And number two, sir, from you, what we took away is you can put a structure to your entire learning.
It has to be done. Otherwise, it doesn't work. I will
so
learn
much.
tomorrow. It never works. Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Robin, sir, What is your technique of continuous reading, sir? Do you follow any mechanism? Do you follow any particular way of making sure that every day you are reading and learning?
There is a kahavat, that's the truth. Joy shared is joy doubled. Sorrow shared is sorrow halved. And joy sharing is nothing else but learning sharing, knowledge sharing. You can only share knowledge provided we have knowledge. How do you gain knowledge? In our daily life of grime and dust and grime and problems, we always believe and think we have this issue of procrastination. कल पढ़ लेंगे, कल सीख लेंगे, अरे ये किताब अच्छा है, चलो रख लेते, बाद में देखेंगे. वो बाद में कभी नहीं होता है. So therefore I suggest, and I will come to a question, that please read newspapers every day. Because if you read newspapers every day, one, your procrastination habit is going away because you are reading something every day. Newspaper also comments on issues which are important and perhaps debatable. I, as an individual, I read everything, every trash. I told you I used to read those newspapers which were used for packing vada pavs or pakoras. I belong to a city called Kolkata where they used to serve in newspaper packing jhal muri, basically Indian biscuits with some oil and some chana. My submission to all of you is that do not procrastinate in reading. Read everything, but only submission to you is many of us have the habit of reading fiction. It is good to read a fiction once in a while, but fiction doesn't add value because it takes you to a world perhaps which doesn't exist. It is good to read and get into the habit of reading non-fiction. There are heavy non-fiction and there are light non-fictions. Read non-fiction which are light and which you believe. Just open any page of a non-fiction book, read one page and see whether that page is making sense to you, pick it up and buy it. I think a question obviously always comes, which book do you recommend to buy? Go to a bookshop. Of course, nowadays we don't go to a bookshop anymore. We go to the Amazon.in bookshop where you can comfortably read one page because most books do have some pages which you can read without any money, without any cost whatsoever. Open, if it makes sense, read it. Coming to the question, reading is a continuous habit. Do not give up. Try with your newspaper reading, get back and get it back. And if possible, throw your WhatsApp away. If possible, which we will not because WhatsApp is now part of life and life. But I wouldn't say throw it away, but don't give too much time on what is containing in WhatsApp because that is taking away your reading habits and also, to my mind, subtracting your ability to learn.
So nice. Such a nice learning, sir. Subtracting your ability to learn, that's the side effect of overusing WhatsApp. Or for that matter,
mobile phones,
any social media,
mobile, WhatsApp or whatever.
Absolutely, sir. Thank you so much. And that's why I think you are stressing the importance of deep learning. Going deep in the subject, going deep in the topic.
I like this concept. Madhukarji said that he started learning by writing. My submission to all of you is that please start writing. Moment you write a page on anything, you first have to learn yourself. It is a forced learning. Many of you will say, but okay, I write, but where do I publish? You don't need to publish anywhere. Go and publish, have your own blog. Today, the world is in front of you. You don't need any newspaper, any magazine to pick you up. Have your own blog and please write once a week, once in 15 days and see the number of fans you will have in 1 year, 2 years time. Then you'll be able to encash your blog. You can monetize your blog because many of you are finance guys, I think. You can monetize your blog. You don't know what strength is with you. We all have our strength, inner power. And moment you start writing, automatically learning comes to you.
So nice, sir. Learning by writing, learning by teaching. Sir, to add to this point, when I was in my study days, my teacher used to tell me, teach someone else. you will learn yourself. So teaching was my way of learning. And as we discussed, writing is also another way of learning. Yes,
Madhukar
Robert.
also shared the same thing, that he started writing and he started understanding his subject much better, which you are also doing the same thing. Wonderful. Suggest everyone to do it.
Absolutely, sir. Thank you so much.
I want
Madhukar,
to
sir.
add something.
Yes, sir. Please.
I am taking a cue from what you said. You know, the next stage for me was, I was not getting clients, right? But how will clients come to know Madhukar knows something? So I took this chance of also starting speaking. I was not a good speaker. Even now, I don't think I'm a great speaker, but okay, I think reasonably good in my subject. And that's what I started. And I realized that this has a multifarious advantages. One, as you said, when you want to present something, you are going to prepare much, much more. Initially, I used to prepare 30 hours for a 1 hour session.
Wow.
That was the multiplication. Maybe after 2-3 years, it came down to 10 hours. Now, of course, it may be just 2-3 hours, 2 hours. For example, for this session, I spent 2 hours. So there is a lot of learning which happens in the 2 hours beyond what is asked by the people also. So this learning, while teaching, you are revising something at least 4 times. Number 2, incidental benefits can be amazing. I have no problem about articles in my office in every location. That is because of the name we have made for learning. And since we are teaching, we are known to the people as genuine people. They see our videos, listen to us. Incidental benefits, many chartered accountants keep complaining, no articles come. We not only get the articles, we get the best articles in the place. Vijayawada branch, Vizag branch, I remember when we started, my partner is a very learned fellow. He is a huge reader. He is one of the experts in GST called Anil Bezawada. So he called, after 1 year, I asked him, what is the challenge? He said, nobody is coming to our office, sir. No articles. I said, what have you done about it? Did you teach anywhere? Then he said, there is one person who has approached me, but I am thinking teaching and all difficult. I said, what is more difficult, to get articles or to teach? He said, sir, getting articles is much more difficult. Then I said, you start teaching. And we had, in the next 3 years, we had 5 rank students from Vizag joining our office.
Wow.
So now we don't have any problem anywhere in India getting articles. This is one very big thing.
Very nice, sir.
Second thing is, remember, we are a professional. We can't go begging for work. There are, of course, a large number of professionals, even the very, very big firms who make presentations and do wining, dining and all to get work. But the best way to get work is if it comes to the door or by reference. And that was one more. After some time, I found in every seminar I attended, I might have done it free, I might have charged them a bit, they might have given me a gift. Every seminar I did would convert into 1 or 2 clients, whether they were paying clients or not paying clients. I got this wonderful opportunity without approaching them.
Very nice.
So
one learning, sir, again
yes,
from you here is, learning and sharing can be your business strategy also. This is what you demonstrated.
No, it is our business strategy.
It is a business strategy. It is your strategy of differentiating yourself, connecting to the Robin sir's point, USP.
100%.
For professionals, the USP is deep learning, deep
100%.
expertise, and ultimately deep sharing.
Yes. In fact, one more example I can give you. You know Ravi Somani.
Yes, sir.
Ravi Somani wanted to come to Pune. He was in Hyderabad. He said, sir, आप पुणे branch बोल रहे हैं, मैं जाता हूँ, पुणे में start करता हूँ. I asked him, मराठी मालूम है? He said, नहीं. Then I asked him, तेरे को कोई contact है पुणे में? He said, नहीं. Then we sent a mail internally, not even one client in Pune. But Somani set up a practice 5 years back or 4.5 years back.
Absolutely.
And in 3 years, he was called Somani Service Tax, sir. His name itself changed from Ravi Somani to Ravi Service Tax. And he is doing very well. Recently, he has gone into a very big, much bigger office, and we are earning more than 1.5 crores there
So
ethically.
much. This is actually a good
another
learning
example.
for all of us, sir, here.
Yes.
Please don't consider learning only to grow yourself intellectually. Consider learning to grow professionally, to build your brand as a professional. And both of you are really the live examples of it. Robin, sir, I came to know about you, frankly speaking, when I came to know about your books on financial scams, unique topics. So that's the way I came in contact. This was live example that how books can make an impact. And then I shared with some of many my close contacts that, okay, you should read this book. You should read these articles. So that's the way we brand ourselves, isn't it, sir? Robin, sir, any experience you would like to share? How this writing, sharing helped you personally and professionally, sir?
As I said, we all have to identify our USP, unique selling proposition. And at the end of the day, each one of us are marketing us every day. Every day is an interview for you. Please do not think that I have already achieved a lot. It's not so. There are 33 of us, I think, or 32 of us now on this web call. Each one of you who are on this are judging the speakers today, and we are on a continuous interview for 1 hour or 90 minutes. Each sentence we utter will either be judged or be thrown away or be appreciated. So we are always in an interview. Now, when you go to the real life, it's also you are in an interview. Now, how do you distinguish yourself? By sharing, for sure. Have you noticed that the most famous chefs in the world are chefs who writes books? Now, chefs who writes books means what? They are sharing their knowledge of the recipes. Each one of us have our own mother. Our mothers are the best chefs, but people don't know our mothers are the best chefs because she has not shared a recipe with the world. There are 5 or 10 chefs in the world or in India who are well known because of the books. And books means he or she has shared his or her knowledge of recipes. So my dear friends, if you have to really distinguish yourself and make others know about you, rather than going to politics, of course you can, that's a way of making known by making yourself known to others. Please start writing. And I just said you can write by blogging. If you blog, write a blog itself is writing. But my submission is, book is a great way. It's a great way to start. Madhukarji said earlier there was nobody in excise, central excise who knew excise. My first book was on central excise, Madhukarji. You may not be aware. The law and practice of central excise, you can search. And Modvat book, which went into 10 edition, was mine. Of course, all these are gone. All the knowledge and expertise on central excise is all gone. Having said that, I also found out, as you found out, Madhukarji, that there is a gap. There is a gap of knowledge of central excise. Let's learn that. And then I started writing books. My submission to all of you is that moment you write books, moment you write articles, moment you start writing blogs, you will automatically, willy-nilly be started knowing, people will start knowing you. And most importantly, forget about people knows that you are not. What is important is the fact that you are sharing knowledge, which means your joy is doubled. Joy shared is joy doubled. And sorrow shared is sorrow halved. Practice it, ladies and gentlemen. It will work for you.
Thank you so much, Robin, sir. We are really taking away a very deep learning today now. Joy shared, joy doubled. Sorrow shared, sorrow halved. And knowledge shared, knowledge doubled. Learning shared, learning doubled. Everyone, I hope you have noted these points. Either on notepad, but most importantly in your mind. That's more important. And that's the hallmark of a growth mindset. So, sir, there is an ocean of experience and insights really lying with both of you. I mean, I think we have had a drop of it today. Let me admit that. And let me also admit that We at least need a couple of hours to actually have this kind of deep dialogues. So for today, I think we'll have to possibly take a pause here.
I would, Meghnad, if you agree, I would
Please,
like to share one book which
Please.
all of you should read, which will change the world for you. And it is available for 100 rupees on footpaths. How to win friends and influence people.
Okay. Wow.
How to win friends and influence people. Dale Carnegie. My dear friends, all those who are there on this call, please buy 100 rupees, 150 rupees. I don't think you need to spend more. If you go to Amazon, maybe 300 bucks, read this. It is a life-changing book.
Wow.
And not only you will get friends, you will perhaps have new reasons as to why we should live and continue to contribute to the real world.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. We have noted it. Thank you so much. Madhukar, sir, your suggestion, one book you would like to suggest to all of us?
No, I can't suggest one book. But one of my books which I had noted was certainly How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Okay.
And the point which is important in that book is 98% of us go through life without clear goals. We don't set inspiring goals for ourselves, and therefore the people under us also don't spend, they don't set inspiring goals. So I think How to Win Friends and Influencing People is a very good book for goal setting. There is also one very good video, which is Start with Why. Simon Sinek. He's also written a book, Start with Why. I have got, of course, the book. Wonderful book to talk about. What I will do is I will share the various books and what is the impact of that book with you, Meghnam.
Sure, sir.
Because there are lots and there are some very small books which can get you started. In fact, these books I distribute in our office also.
Okay.
Yes, day before yesterday I have sent, though it's a very old book, 7 Habits of Effective People by Stephen Covey. I have sent to all the leaders in my office. And the 8th habit I have told send after 1 month.
Okay.
Like this, I have got a few books noted, and what is it that the learning which is possible through that. But the small books which people can immediately buy and finish today itself, possibly tomorrow or before the weekend, is Eat the Frog.
Eat That Frog.
Eat the Frog, Brian Tracy, I think.
Brian Tracy.
And Who Moved My Cheese. This Who Moved My Cheese can probably be the first book. Many of us sit in our armchairs and we think we'll do this, we'll do this. If you read that book, you'll actually get off your armchair, and then maybe possibly your reading habit and other things can follow.
Wow.
Thank you very, very much for this opportunity to share many things.
Thank you so much, sir. This was just a drop in the ocean, I'm sure, sir. And
yeah, it is.
We would like to really have you and Robin, sir, again in some of our future conversations. Sir, I'll take one hint from this discussion. One, learning is powerful. Learning is a strategy to differentiate ourselves. Learning happens effective in groups. So to take this ahead, Madhukar sir and Robin sir, I hope you will be with us, right, for next few minutes also.
Yes, we are there.
Because
I am there.
So this habit of learning, this habit of growing day by day is something we really passionately work for as our cause. And to make this possible for each one of us here on the call, sir, we are going to introduce a community of continuous evolvers today. A community. Now, why a community? Because powerful things happen when we are in groups. We need inspirations from each other. We need push from each other. We need to learn from each other. That's the way we as humans have evolved to this level, because we are social animals. And to match with our overall design, sir, communities play a very important role. And knowing that, realizing that, we decided to take this initiative of forming a community of continuous evolvers. People who want to better themselves every single day. by reading something, by knowing something new. And as Robin sir said, also an opportunity to share your joy so that the joy is doubled, so that we inspire others. So to make this happen, sir, we are formally launching this community today in your auspicious presence. So do I have the permission, Robin sir and Madhukar sir?
100%. In fact, the 8th habit is about that only.
Wow.
The 8th habit of Stephen Covey, which is one book, which is exactly this. Find your voice and inspire others to have a voice. That's what
Thank you so
it
much,
says.
sir.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir. So I'm really happy and glad to announce this community. The name of the community is iBetter. Enhance every day. iBetter, enhance every day. So let me share 1-minute video to talk about this particular community.
Please.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, that's
Thank you.
nice.
Thank you so much, sir. iBetter, enhance every day. Enhance professionally, enhance personally, enhance our health, enhance our fitness, enhance our knowledge, enhance our finances, enhance our impact, enhance our understanding, enhance our relationships. As an individual, this is what all we aspire for, isn't it, everyone? And this is our small attempt, very, very small attempt to make this happen for this community to contribute in everyone's lives. So I think I'm receiving some message to replay this. Okay, if you have missed watching, it is just 59 seconds. So I'm just replaying this again. Great. Thank you. Hope everyone is prompted enough to do something for every one of us. My formal and earnest invitation to all of you to join this community. Ashish, you can put the community link on the chat. It is very simple. www.ibetter.world. So every letter is meaningful here. iBetter.world. And this is our small attempt to make an impact in this world in the small way possible to us. I may not take you through the entire demo of the community. It is very easy interface on website. We are using a platform, very sophisticated platform to build this community online. So that absolutely seamless experience to all of you. iBetter.world. What we expect from all of you, I think you would have noticed in the presentation itself, we expect 1 minute from you every single day, 1 minute. That is our investment for our own learning. We expect 1 hour from you every month because we are going to have one deep conversation like this, which is happening like today, on deep topics every single month. And we ask 1 day in 1 year from you, wherein we will try to meet personally. Imagine the impact when we meet each other at a particular nice location wherein we can really meet each other and learn from each other, go deeper with each other. So that's what we want from you. 1 minute per day, 1 hour per month, and 1 day per year. That's it. That's it we need from you. We expect from you. We ask from you. What we will do from our side as this community host, we will try to bring you best of the insights for our continuous improvement. Professional insights, personal insights, health insights, growth insights. And we will try to bring best of the people around us to share their life stories and experiences with you, like we have today with Robin sir and Madhukar sir with us. And what we will do, we will always try to expand your life, enhance your life every single day. Great. So with this, I think I'm really happy again that we had formally introduced this community, iBetter.world, in the auspicious presence of Robin sir and Madhukar sir. I have Ravi also with me. I have Nitin, my dear friend, also joining from Latur. All dears. Thank you so much. All dear friends. Of course, everyone here is very close to us, very close community that we have today. And I'm sure with all of your involvement in this community, we are really going to make a deeper impact. So thank you so much again. If everyone allows, I would like to invite an important section of today's session for our health and wellness, because betterment cannot happen without better health. Isn't it? Today is CA day as well as Doctor's Day. Isn't it? What a coincidence. Someone shared with me one message in the morning, a doctor friend. What he did, why CA day and Doctor's Day is together, you know? So he shared his logic. He said, good health is the only wealth that you have. That's why Doctor Day and CA Day is together. Health is wealth. Health is wealth. And to help us live a better health, a better life, I would invite Nilima, our wellness coach and my dear wife, to share her insights to all of us. Quick insights, practical insights. Nilima, you can unmute.
Yes. Yes. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Meghnad. And I would wish happy CA day to everyone, because here almost everyone is a CA, I guess. So wish you all happy CA day. And Meghnad, can you allow me to share screen?
Yeah, now you can. Now
Okay.
you can, I think. Please.
No, it is still disabled.
Still? Okay.
Yeah.
Just give me a second. Can you try now, please?
Yeah. Okay. Yes. So on wellness part, like I would just introduce like my screen is visible to everyone.
Yes.
Yes. So starting with some shocking facts about wellness. Before going on wellness, we would see like what is happening today. Nowadays, what the scenario is, you can see that most important is heart disease, hypertension and diabetes. These are the major silent killer diseases. Nowadays, age is not a factor. Like earlier, we used to see in 60s and 70s, we used to hear the people are getting heart attack, they're having BP and diabetes. But nowadays, it is common in 30s and 40s also we hear that people are getting these diseases. You can see second reason like most of the cardiovascular disease, these are all related to heart. They have doubled in last 20 years almost. What it used to be earlier, the ratio what is there, like the death rate, it has just doubled in this 20 years. And cancer is now the second disease after this heart diseases and heart attack and diabetes. Cancer is coming up. Every one person in eight we hear he or she is having some cancer, and that's the big silent killer. Secondly, smoking. Many of us know this is an important risk, and most of this causes lung cancer and various other cancers also. So smoking is also one reason. Other than that, diabetes, this is also a very silent killer. Just like if you just see these all diseases, these are all what? They are all lifestyle driven diseases, which are coming as a silent killer. So basically what we can do is we can just change our little daily routine, and all these cases, all these problems, diseases can be prevented. So how is that happening? We've come up with a smile formula. What is the smile formula? I'll give quick tips, few, not in detail, but very quickly. I'll give only one tip on each of the points. See, for S stands for sleep. And for sleep, as you know, we all diseases when we see, we all change our daily routine, everything we change, but we never see that sleep can be a cause of all. It could be a root cause of all the diseases. So for that, my quick tip is maintain a regular sleep schedule. That is, you can fix up your timing of waking up and going to bed. Let it be fixed. So if every day it is 10 p.m. or 10:30, 11, let it be the same period and let it be the wake up period same. And another thing, you can just avoid exposure to blue light 1 hour before going to bed. That is, just avoid your exposure to mobile, your laptops, your working. So most of this happen with the social media exposure. Just stop it. Be with your family, talk with them, play with your kids. Before going to bed, this should be your routine, not checking up the mails, WhatsApp, seeing some videos, not that. Okay. Second is meditate. M for meditate. That is simple meditation technique. I would say that focus on your breathe in and breathe out. So just for 1 minute in an hour, you can just remove your 1 minute in an hour and focus that I am breathing in and out. Only paying attention to that will bring you in present moment. We always try think on past or future. All the thoughts are in past or future. But the important thing is being in present. Be here now, right now. Third thing is intake. That is intake. Now many points could come in this section, but I would quickly give one intake. That is drink water frequently. That and carry your water bottle wherever you're going, so that water intake is there, and chew your food properly. That is what you're having. That is like more important is how you're having it. What is in your plate? That's not a very important, but how you're having it is important. That is, chew it properly. Let it be anything what you're having in your plate. Thoroughly bite every your food at least 25 times. It is said 32 times is the ideal one, but I would say more than 25 times at least. Fourth point is love. That is practice gratitude in this. Before going to sleep every night, at least thank 5 people who you feel that they have helped you in any way. Yeah, at least 5 people you have to say thank you to them. So you can do it by writing on a paper that I thank so and so person for so and so thing. So 5 people, at least 5 people every day, thanking them for 5. Yeah. And the last one, exercise. Now exercise, many exercises are there. I would say just practice every day 10 minutes of body stretching, any body stretching, whatever you feel, and 10 minutes of breathing exercise, that is pranayam. So, all these things that comes with a smile formula. So basically, more important, I would say, is bring a smile on your face that changes your mood, everything, and just practice it. Now, as Meghnan said, this is not to be done in one day. So this should be a consistency. This should be your daily practice. So what I would say is consistency is the key to success. So practicing this every day, you will see the change. Even if you practice few of the tips from this, you'll start feeling the change from today itself. Yeah. So this was quick tips for health from my side. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, Nilima. Many a times my friends ask me, possibly, what is the reason, I'm just trying to share my personal stuff. What is the reason you look younger than your age? This is a frequent question to me whenever I meet my old friends. Now you know the secret. Nilima is my source of keeping me young and keeping me healthy. Okay. So now let me come back in the session, in the dialogue. Nilima, you can stop share your screen. Okay, great. So we have almost covered the agenda for today. Of course, we wanted more time, but let's reserve something better for some next conversations. Some ending, closing, concluding remarks. And I would invite our ideal examples, living examples of growth mindset, continuous evolvers. First of all, Robin sir, would you like to share one thought with all of us to take away?
It's all in the mind. Keep a positive attitude and you can do it. If possible, read the book, because we are talking about reading. Read the book called The Secret, which essentially says, if you want, you can do it. We all can do it. Have a positive mindset. You will be able to do it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Powerful. Thank you. Madhukar sir, one piece of learning for all of us from your side. Okay, I think Madhukar sir.
I think he's not there.
He's not there. No problem. But we took some good lessons from him, that learning is not natural. You can make it happen by giving some structure to it. And
actually,
writing.
Not what I learned from him very much,
sir.
and maybe
Yes,
it is good for everyone to learn.
Yeah.
He was so candid in saying, I am a slow learner.
Absolutely.
I'm not an intelligent learner. And he's one of the most successful chartered accountant, practicing chartered accountants.
Very true,
he
sir.
took the trouble of learning, and now see where he is. Each one of us can do it. We don't have to be an intellectual genius. We just have to have that word attitude, and we can all do it.
Very nice. Thank you so much, sir. Absolutely. He's an example of everything is possible. And that's where, coming back to sir, growth mindset. Growth mindset will say, I know or I don't know does not matter. What matters is, am I willing to learn? That's the hallmark of growth mindset. Thank you for connecting this. I would invite maybe our participants, our friends here. Anyone would like to share their thoughts? Ravi, we can see you now. Any thoughts on continuous learning and reading?
Yes. Firstly, congratulations, Meg, Nilima, and the entire Shoonyas team. I can actually give my personal experience working with, Meg and Nilima. Every time, in fact, Meg is my coach. So I'm glad that I made that decision. Many times people ask me that, why do we need a coach? But then I must give an answer that even a person like Virat Kohli needs a coach. So then we are nowhere. We need people who can guide us in the right direction. And every time I have an interaction, deeper interactions with Meg, I get a takeaway. And that's what I always tell him, that thanks for, showing me the right direction. So thanks, Meg, for that.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ravi. Likewise,
Nilima,
you are an example. Thank you. Please.
And Nilima, I've learned two things from Nilima. There was a point of time where I was suffering from, I would say lack of sleep or some sort of insomnia, maybe depression. But then Nilima, at that point of time, she supported and she gave me one technique, sleeping, which has helped a lot and corrected my issue. And most importantly, I learned the gratitude part. Nilima, I practice that today also. Of course, I don't do it in that great detail which you are, which you do. But in my own way, I practice gratitude. I can see the changes in myself only by doing this small change. So thank you, Nilima, for that.
Happy to hear it, Ravi. Happy to hear.
Yes.
So nice.
Thank you so much, Ravi. Thanks.
Thank you.
And Ravi is another example of a growth mindset. I think, by the way, Ravi, Madhukar sir mentioned your example in the session, how you started Pune branch and now how you are known as Ravi Service Tax in Pune industry. So you are the example of continuous evolver and growth mindset. The person who really started from zero, and now really built an impactful kind of brand, name, and work around him. Thanks for joining, Ravi.
Thanks, Meg. Thanks.
I would invite maybe a few of us again to share their thoughts before we conclude, because this is a closed group dialogue. Anyone would like to share their thoughts?